Perek Aleph, Mishnah Gimel. Our Mishnah now changes the topic of the Masechta, and we now start to talk about Rosh Chodesh, how it was proclaimed and when it was proclaimed. The Torah tells us, HaChodesh hazeh lochem Rosh Chodoshim. The pasuk in Parshas Boy gives us a mitzvah saseh deraisa to be mekadesh the Chodesh. The pasuk says, HaChodesh hazeh lochem Rosh Chodoshim. This month should be for you as the first month. It was therefore a mitzvah saseh for Bezdin to proclaim the first of the month as Rosh Chodesh. They did this al pi re'iyah, which means that they waited for witnesses to come to Yerushalayim to tell Bezdin that they had now seen the new moon. This could happen on either one of 2 days. The previous month could either be a 29-day month, which is called Choser, a deficient month, and the 30th day would be declared as Rosh Chodesh if the Eidim came on that 30th day, or perhaps the Eidim did not come on the 30th day, in which case automatically the 31st day would be declared as Rosh Chodesh. Our calendar is governed by the lunar cycle. We know that the moon has no light of its own, it only reflects the light of the sun that shines upon it. Once a month, the moon makes a revolution around the earth. As it makes that revolution, there is a time of the month where it is aligned exactly in between the earth and the sun. If you can imagine, therefore, that this is the earth and this is the sun is shining on the moon, which is in between the earth and the sun, and the entire light side of the moon we can't see here on earth because it's shining onto the sun. The part of the moon which is facing the earth is in complete darkness. That is the moment of Moilad. That is the moment where the new moon is born, and it cannot be seen because there is no light. Once the moon starts making its revolution around the earth very slowly, a little bit of light starts shining onto the part of the moon which can actually be seen here on earth. That is the small little crescent of the moon that we are waiting for the Eidim to come along and say that they have seen. Bezdin would interrogate those witnesses, those Eidim, to ensure that they had seen what they thought they had seen, and would then declare the month as Rosh Chodesh, declare that day as Rosh Chodesh. At that point, Bezdin would send out shluchim to all different parts of Eretz Yisrael and to Chutz La'aretz in order to inform the people which day had been declared as Rosh Chodesh. Our Mishnah starts by telling us, Al Shisha Chodoshim HaShluchim Yotzin. On 6 different months, Bezdin would ensure that they would send out messengers to tell everybody which day had been declared as Rosh Chodesh. Al Nisan Mipnei HaPesach. They would send out the messengers in the month of Nisan in order that everybody should know which day was the 15th of Nisan as the first day of Pesach. The next time they sent them out was Al Ov, in the month of Ov, Mipnei HaTarnas, in order that everybody should know when Tisha B'Av fell, which was the 9th of Ov, because that was the day of the Tarnas. It's a Tarnas de Rabbanon to commemorate the destruction of the 2 Batei Mikdash. The next time it was sent out was Al Elul, in the month of Elul, Mipnei Rosh Hashanah. In order to tell everybody when Rosh Chodesh Elul was, they could then work out when Rosh Hashanah was. In fact, however, they were not 100% certain when Rosh Hashanah was, even if they knew when Rosh Chodesh Elul was, because they didn't know whether Chodesh Elul itself would be a month which is Choser of only 29 days, or a month which is Mole of 30 days. However, since in the vast majority of cases, the month of Elul was Choser and only had 29 days, they always celebrated Rosh Hashanah on the 30th day, so once they knew when Rosh Chodesh Elul was, they could work out when to celebrate the Yontif of Rosh Hashanah. The next time they sent out the Shluchim was Al Tishri Mipnei Takonos HaMoyados. Even though they kept Rosh Hashanah on the 30th day after Rosh Chodesh Elul, they still sent out the Shluchim for Tishri in order to know and establish exactly when the correct day was for Yom Kippur and the correct day for Sukkot. For those communities which were too far away for the Shluchim to reach in time, in all the other cases of the Yom Tovim, they would keep 2 days out of doubt, because they weren't quite sure when Yom Tov was. The exception was for Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur was always kept only as 1 day, due to the extreme hardship that there would have been if they would have had to keep Yom Kippur for 2 days. The next time the shluchim went out was Al Kislev, for the month of Kislev, Mipnei Chanukah. Because of the Yontav D'Rabbanan that we have of Chanukah, in order that everybody should know when that is, on the 25th of Kislev, they sent out the shluchim so that we should celebrate. Once again, since this was only a mitzvah D'Rabbanan, even those communities where the shluchim didn't reach did not keep the Yontav of Chanukah for 9 days, they only kept it for 8 days. The next time the shluchim went out was V'al Adar Mipnei HaPurim. They went out for the month of Adar in order that we should know when the 14th of Adar fell, so we know when to celebrate the Yontav of Purim, which is again a D'Rabbanan Dika Yontav. Sometimes some years were proclaimed as leap years, which meant that there were 2 months of Adar. There was Adar Rishon and Adar Sheni. But the Shluchim only went out once, because with this Mishnah is going according to the Tana, who says that whenever an extra month was proclaimed because it was a leap year, the extra month was always Adar Rishon, and that Adar Rishon was always Mole. It was always 30 days. So once you knew when Rosh Chodesh Adar was, you always knew when Purim was. You could work it out from there. Says the Mishnah, Uchashahaya Beis HaMikdash Kayam, at the time when the Beis HaMikdash stood, Yotzin Af Al Iyar, they used to send out shluchim also in the month of Iyar, Mipnei Pesach Cotton, because of Pesach Sheni. There was one day in Iyar, the 14th of Iyar, which was given as a second opportunity for anybody who was Tomei on the first Pesach, or who was on Derech HaChoka, he was far away from Yerushalayim, and he did not get the opportunity to bring his Korban Pesach in time during Nisan. He was given a second opportunity in Iyar of 1 day in order to bring his Korban Pesach then. Tosfos of Akiva Eiger tells us that in fact there always were only 6 months when the shluchim were sent out, even in the times of the Beis HaMikdash, when they additionally sent out shluchim for the month of Iyar. Why? Because in the times of the Beis HaMikdash they would not send out any shluchim in the month of Av, because Tisha B'Av was not celebrated when the Beis HaMikdash was standing. Tosfos Yontav brings down that the reason why in our Mishnah Pesach Sheni is referred to as Pesach Cotton is because Pesach Cotton was only celebrated for 1 day, as opposed to the Yontav of Pesach, which was celebrated for 7 days. 1 month we notice they did not send out shluchim for, which we might have thought they would have done, and that is in the month of Sivan. They did not need to send out shluchim in the month of Sivan to tell us when to celebrate Shavuos, because Shavuos was always celebrated on the 50th day after the 16th of Nisan, and therefore we didn't need to know the date of Rosh Chodesh. For Ad Kan, Mishnah Gimel.